Hello and welcome to SDP. I'm Fran Goldie, I'm the Digital Officer for the Supplier Development Programme, and today we're going to be looking at Public Contract Scotland, specifically the registration process, so that you are kept informed of all calls, or at least all relevant calls for competition. So first thing I'm going to mention is the URL at the top of the screen. You would simply type in the taskbar, publiccontractscotland.gov. .uk, and that will take you straight into the public contracts website. From here, we are going to register. Let me just change that. From here, we're going to go over to the right-hand side of your screen, and we're going to click on register. Today, we are registering as a supplier. So as you scroll down, you'll notice that there is an option for the suppliers of goods, works and services to register as a supplier. As I scroll down, if you're a buyer from a public sector body, you can register as a buyer to advertise your opportunities and your calls for competition. Scrolling down further, we could register as a prime contractor if we're a tier 1 contractor that has won a public sector contract, but there is a need for a supply chain or subcontractors to work with you on that contract. So if you're a tier 1 contractor that has won a public sector contract, you would be registering as a prime contractor. But today, we're going to register as a supplier by clicking on the button. And then if we scroll down, we simply populate the information required. So first name, last name, contact details, then details about your organisation. Scrolling down, we arrive on this box. Now, it's really important that if you're a third sector organisation, you tick the box to let the buyers know that you are a not-for-profit organisation, or you're a charity or a community interest company, anything that would class your organisation or give your organisation the status of third sector. So you would want to let the buyer know that. Equally as important is letting the buyer know if 30% of your employees are classed as disadvantaged or a disabled person. Now, if 30% of your employees come under this bracket, then your business is classed as a supported business. So you would want to let the buyer know by ticking the wee box that you are either a third sector organisation or a supported business. Now, as we scroll down, your account information is your contact email address. Now, a note to make would be that if you have a personal email address in there, if it was my name that was in there, francis.goldie@sdp.co.uk, and then I left the organisation, you wouldn't then have eyes on any calls or any competitions that the buyers want to bring to your attention. For example, being invited to Quick Quote. So I would suggest that you make the email address, if possible, info@ as we have, or tenders at, or inquiries at. If you could make it a generic email address and then I leave the business, anytime the buyer is trying to get in touch with you to invite you to quote or to get more information, someone will have eyes on that email coming in and not the person that's left, because it could just be sitting there as an unopened email. So a wee hint or tip would be try and use a generic email address if possible. Then, of course, the password between 10 and 50 characters. It wants to have lowercase, it needs to have numbers, and then a special character when you're putting in your password. You could tick the box to receive the PCS's email. So they send out a wee email every now and again, keeping you up to date with any legislation changes or anything that you need to know about the procurement landscape within the public sector in Scotland. So you would tick that wee box to receive the wee monthly newsletter. And then scrolling further down, you need to have a read at the terms and conditions, make sure you're comfortable with them, then tick the box before submitting your registration. Now, once you've submitted your registration, the next step would be for PCS, Public Contract Scotland, to ping you an email to verify your details. So they'll verify the email address and verifying that you're a bona fide company. So from this step, you wouldn't be able to log in until you've gone back to your emails and clicked on the link within the email you've received from Public Contract Scotland to verify your details. Then you'll be able to click on the login button and you will then be logged. So that's you now registered and able to log in to Public Contract Scotland. Thank you for watching.